Y'all ready to see Will Smith before the slap? Come with us as we recap a movie where his significant other has hair. The movie begins with a seasoned con man named Nicky Spurgeon, who enters a bar at a New York City hotel and notices a beautiful young blonde woman named Jess. She is with another man who seems to be bothering her. Later, Jess walks up to Nicky, introduces herself, and asks him to pretend to be her boyfriend for a few minutes to escape the troublesome man. Nicky agrees and they flirt awkwardly. He suggests that they go somewhere else to talk, and Jess tells him she has a reservation upstairs. Once they go upstairs, they go to Pound Town. Suddenly, a man bursts into the room with a gun, threatening to shoot Nicky. Jess looks scared and quickly claims the man is her husband. The gunman ignores her plea to stop and continues to threaten Nicky. In a bold move, Nicky jokingly claims he has cancer, saying that the man would be doing him a favor by killing him. The gunman pauses, saying he doesn't want to shoot a guy with cancer. Jess figures that Nicky is onto their ploy to rob him. Nicky then goes ahead to explain how they should have handled it if they really wanted to rob him before he leaves. Later, Nicky follows Jess because he's still got a pitched tent and convinces her to have coffee with him. While they sit and chat, he shares a story about how he learned this business through his father and grandfather. When his father was about to get caught, he shot Nicky's grandfather to prove they aren't working together. This method is called the Toledo panic button. Jess opens up about her background, explaining that she didn't come from a life of crime. She is just a foster child with no clear future. She asks Nicky to teach her, but he tells her he is leaving town. In a bold move, Jess offers him money she got from a stolen wallet as payment for his help. Nicky decides to teach her the tricks of conning people. He tells her that conning is about focus and demonstrates by showing her how he can manipulate his hands so she can't tell when he takes something from her. That's just an excuse to touch her plastic Barbie goods. Later, Nicky heads to New Orleans with his friend Horst and their team of con artists. Jess follows him and manages to convince Nicky to take her under his wings after she reveals some things she researched about him. Nicky tells her it's better to learn the tricks professionally. He introduces her to Horst, who says Nicky already knew she was coming. Jess feels excited and leaves with Horst, eager to learn the craft of conning from Nicky and his team. During the Super Bowl week, the city is packed with people. Jess walks like she got 2 Kit Kat bars as legs. Nicky and his team of con artists give her the rundown. They walk through the crowded streets where they swipe watches, wallets, and other trinkets from unsuspecting people. She uses her melons to seduce men, then snatch their shit. Next, they take Jess through a hotel casino for another round of tricks. Some girl does the same trick Jess tried to do in the beginning of the movie, and Big Peach Man over here runs in his tidy whities. He explains how credit card skimming works, stealing credit card info. Even a big FUPA man, Farhad, steals from the ATM, asking Jess to move to the back seat. When they arrive at the con warehouse, Nicky shows Jess around. Jess notices a beautiful and expensive necklace that she wants, but Nicky says she can't. He explains to her how they are redistributing wealth because politicians sure ain't helping with their tariff increases. Later, she asks him about the big con. Nicky tells her this ain't no Ocean's 11, and they are in a volume business, which is safer. After this conversation, he gets her card and ID, then gives them to her. He mentions that he has a new place for her, and she will love it. Jess appreciates his kindness and asks how she can get a cab home. However, he offers to drive her home. As romance fills the air, she compliments him, saying he seems trustworthy. This makes him change his mind and he tells her to get a cab. She leaves, seemingly disappointed because Nicky does not want to get freak a leak with her. A few minutes later, Nicky stands at Jess's door. He comes in and they have an entanglement. The next morning at a restaurant, missing chromosome Farhad and Jess have a lively discussion. He shows her pictures of his family and shares how long he has been down with Nicky. Later, Farhad pretends to fall down syndrome and Jess cries out for help. This drama distracts people while they carry out their con, stealing wallets and other valuables, leading to Farhad being wheeled into an ambulance. In the fake ambulance, Nicky and Jess flirt, while Farhad, tired of them being like his chromosome, extra. The night before the big game, after all their conning is done, Nicky addresses the team and congratulates them on a record week, $1.2 million in earnings. He sends everyone home with his usual promise to send them their cut. Horst gives Nicky a bag of cash, making him promise he won't gamble with it. Nicky promises he won't. After that, he leaves with Jess. As they share an intimate moment, Jess tells Nicky she is tired, and he shows her some tickets he got for a football game for the next day, and she is excited. Over time, Nicky and Jess develop a strong attraction. After eating eggplant, Jess asks why some people call him Mellow. He explains that his father used the nickname because he said Nicky was soft like a marshmallow. Nicky believes there's no room for heart in this line of work because it can get you killed. The next day, Nicky and Jess go to the football game. They spot a woman in a short dress and bet on how many men will look at her as she walks by. Jess bets on 8 men, while Nicky bets on 3. A man named Mr. Luyan joins the bet and wagers on 5. As the woman walks by, 7 men check her out, making Jess the closest predictor. Luyan makes more bets with Nicky throughout the game, begging him like a child to keep playing when he tries to back out. Nicky plays and loses $1,000. The bets escalate as the men bet 10 grand, even when Jess tells Nicky that they should just leave. After losing $100,000, it seems like he has finally had enough and is about to walk away. Mr. Luyan mocks him back into the game, and Nicky bets all his remaining cash, which is $1.1 million, on a simple high card draw. Jess over here like, that's my money too. Luyan pulls the card with a higher number, winning all their money. He mockingly says to Nicky, "This is what happens when you play with the big boys." "Pull down your pants then, Luyan." However, Nicky chooses not to walk away. He decides to double the bet again. He tells Luyan to pick any player on the field and he will guess which one, seemingly defying impossible odds. Mr. Luyan thinks Nicky is crazy and refuses to bet on something so irrational. Nicky sweetens the deal by saying Jess will pick the player that Luyan spots, much to Jess's terror. Luyan cannot turn down free money, so he picks a player. Nicky tries to get Jess to pick a player, but she refuses at first. After much pressure from Nicky, she finally gives in. As she nervously looks through the binoculars, Luyan gives them a chance to back out. Jess looks to Nicky, seemingly begging him to take this chance to leave, but he insists that she pick. However, she nervously scans the players. Suddenly, she spots Farhad wearing a jersey with the number 55 on it, and since he stands out like a sore thumb, she grins and picks him, and to everyone's surprise, that is the correct answer. This victory leaves Luyan impressed, and he graciously returns all the money to Nicky. On the ride home, Nicky explains to Jess that he set this up from the beginning of the day. He knew that Luyan is a notorious gambler, so he arranged for Luyan to see the number 55 throughout the day, causing him to subconsciously pick that number at the right moment. Nicky compliments Jess and says she did great. Then Nicky has the taxi pull over while another car stops behind them. He tells the taxi driver to take Jess to the airport, leaving her with her share of the money. Without another word, he departs, leaving Jess confused and heartbroken. Damn, girl, you fumbled the large bag. 3 years later, Nicky is in Buenos Aires, Argentina, working with a billionaire race car owner named Rafael Garriga and his associate Owens. Rafael Garriga and Owens possess a revolutionary new fuel burn algorithm that gives them an edge in the upcoming season. Their plan is for Nicky to pose as a displeased former technician of Garriga willing to sell his custom fuel. Instead, he's supposed to sell a fake version to another team owner, McEwen, who is Garriga's biggest competitor. This move will make McEwen's team slower, while Garriga's team gets faster. That night, Nicky goes to a party at Garriga's mansion. Trying to get McEwen's attention, he pretends to be drunk. At the party, he sees Jess for the first time since he left her. She descends the staircase in a stunning red dress and is intimate with Garriga, causing Nicky to feel disdain. Later, Jess approaches Nicky and assures him that she is doing just fine on her own, having left the conning life behind. Nicky tries to apologize for what happened in New Orleans 3 years ago. Jess reveals that she is now with Garriga and asks Nicky to pretend he doesn't know her. Nicky plays his part as a disgruntled employee of Garriga's company and is later approached by McEwen. Throughout the event, he spends a lot of time trying to get closer to Jess, even though she is done with him. She tells him that she cannot trust him anymore because of what he did to her in the past. Nicky even gets big-backed Farhad to help him win Jess over. Farhad gives Jess 21 reasons why Nicky misses him since New Orleans. Nicky even kept a necklace that Jess had been wanting. Eventually, Jess gives in, leading to them returning to Nicky's hotel room, and they go horseback riding. The next morning, Owens knocks on Nicky's door while Jess hides out of sight. Owens complains about the younger generation and his lack of progress in his job, but Nicky assures him that he has everything under control. Owens says his taint has been itching him, telling him it does that when there's something afoot. Meanwhile, Jess dodges his every move, eventually escaping to another hotel room. Later, Nicky steals Garriga's real EXR software design from his server and sells them to McEwen and every other racing team for the same price, totaling about 27 million euros. He also convinces Jess to run away with him. Before they can escape, one of Garriga's men runs into their car, and they get abducted and taken to one of Garriga's warehouses with duct tape over their mouths. Owens gives Will Smith the old Oscar slap. Garriga removes the tape from Nicky's mouth but leaves it on Jess, and plugs her nose until Nicky tells him how he hacked his system and acquired the real algorithm. Nicky first tells Garriga that Jess was not part of the scheme and asks him to let her go. Garriga plugs her nose again, so Nicky finally admits that he used Jess again and planted a bug on her to get his computer password when she returned to his hotel room. Garriga laughs, knowing this is a lie, and takes the tape off Jess's mouth. She admits to Nicky that Garriga is not her boyfriend and she simply wanted his watch, which is worth 200 grand. She has never slept with Garriga or even been to his room despite his numerous attempts. Nicky and Jess argue because they were both conning each other in a way, but also tried to make each other jealous because there are real feelings there. Finally, Nicky resigns to tell the truth as he looks at Owens. Just as he is about to start, Owens shoots him in the chest, horrifying Garriga and making him leave as he doesn't want to go down for murder. Nicky appears to bleed out while Jess says, "Oh, nar," and tells him she loves him. It looks like Nicky is dying until Owens says he shot him in the right spot to avoid major arteries, but punctured his lungs. Owens quickly drains the blood from Nicky's lung, reviving him. Owens calls Nicky mellow, making Jess realize that Owens is Nicky's father, Bucky Spurgeon, and that he was in on the con the whole time. They just performed the Toledo panic button. Owens drives Nicky and Jess to the nearest hospital. The man yaps for a good long while, our man over here bleeding. He reminds Nicky of what he once said about mixing emotions in the con game and adds that he is taking all the money. Jess helps Nicky walk to the front of the hospital. Nicky smirks when he notices that Jess is wearing Garriga's watch on her wrist. This was a really cute movie. A romantic comedy of some sorts with a fun con twist. What did you guys think? I feel like we could get a sequel.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.